Howdy, folks. It is VannKraken. It is a Sunday, a Super Sunday World of Warships Legends stream. I hope you guys are all having an awesome weekend. Mine has been pretty chill. Nothing too crazy going on. I had a relatively booked day yesterday, just refereeing soccer, what you may call football, for half the day. A young kids 3v3, 3 versus 3 player tournament, which was really fun. I had a great time reffing 11 and 12-year-olds almost the whole day. Gave out very few cards. Kidding. Very few fouls, very few upset parents. Lots of fun soccer with the kids, which was fantastic. So did that, did some yard work today, watched a little bit of Premier League soccer this morning. My older daughter has really gotten into a couple players on Chelsea. And of course, Christian Pulisic plays on Chelsea, who is our one American phenom currently at phenom status when he plays, when he's not injured or has COVID in the Premier League, who's American. Unfortunately, he has COVID right now, so I didn't get to watch him play this morning. But other than that, had a pretty chill Sunday so far, watching some soccer/football, doing some yard work, and going to try to sneak in a stream here. Hey, Skip, how are you? Free time, good to see you. Chalky, great to see you. Yeah, I know. The thing is, I've explained it before on European soccer, you guys, because I didn't cut my teeth on it. I kind of view my European soccer experience more like fantasy football, more like watching players and kind of getting interested in different teams and players, because in fantasy, in FUT on FIFA, you're pulling teams together that are like fantasy league teams. So I've really gotten more enamored with specific players than necessarily specific teams. I've told Chalky I like Bayern. I like Bayern a lot. My favorite Bundesliga team. Bayern roasted Chelsea. Yeah, hey, Chelsea does have Lukaku now. He's a beast, man. He is a physical presence to be dealt with, and had a good game today. Scored a goal, 14 minutes into his return to Chelsea. So anyway, I like to follow multiple teams from the Premier League, do watch Bundesliga. And the thing is, until just recently, we haven't had a chance to watch much European football on TV on a daily basis, and that's really changing with the rise of the MLS. I know our league is not fantastic for guys. It is the best girls women's league. It is getting better. There is more to watch, and there's just more on TV by far than there used to be. So that part's been really, really cool. So anywho, that's what I'm doing today. What are you guys doing? Chelsea, well, we've been eyeing Lewandowski. Yeah, you can't afford him, and they couldn't afford Haaland either, right? Haaland is not going to leave Dortmund, maybe next year. Moist Dumplings is here to talk about the fact that he did pull a Belfast out of a crate last night. This is what makes gambling mechanics, or as they call them, surprise mechanics in a game like Wargaming titles, so fantastic, because we're all so happy when we have an amazing pull, right? It's free advertising. Oh, Lewandowski, Chalky is amazing. Guy is amazing. One of the best target forwards, I think, of our generation that's ever really played. Skip is watching me for today. Hey, I didn't get a chance to see Hitman stream yesterday because the tournament I was reffing in ran late. So I hope that all went well. Skip, you were probably there. Chalky, you probably dropped in as well, I imagine, free time maybe. I hope that went well. I hope he earned a lot of money for charity, for veterans' causes. Really bummed. I had to help clean up and stuff, and then get my daughter. Older daughter was gone, but my younger daughter played. I didn't get to watch her play because I was reffing, but had to get her some food. So we got home right after everything ended. Moist just watched Down Periscope with Kelsey Grammer. It was really good. That's kind of the heyday of Kelsey Grammer during that period of time, right? When Frazier was big. Oh, Skip says Hitman stream went really well. That's great. That is great. I hope you got a lot of money. Hope you got a lot of new viewers in. I have been noticing that viewership for Legends is up, you guys. I don't know if we'll get any refugees over from the PC side. I think a lot of the folks who are upset at WG from a PC perspective are not necessarily going to jump over and play Legends because they're just really pissed off at WG in general. But you never know. You never know. Hey, really quick, just highlights perspective for what I'm doing today. We're going to keep working on the same line grinds. I have to do some line progress, but at the same time, I do need to get my weekly Havoc done. So we'll see how it goes. I'll probably play some games later tonight off stream just with some premium chips, try to finish off weekly Havoc. Hopefully this will help. I'm going to be on for a couple hours probably before I have to go roast some meat on my barbecue or my grill, whatever you call it. But we'll be doing the same thing. British and French lines need to get a first win in Tennessee. That's the highest priority ship to get to North Carolina, which, interesting, in the next panel, I am going to North Carolina next week for my brother's wedding. He's already married. It's kind of a show wedding. I don't think most of the people going to the wedding realize they've already gotten married surreptitiously. But I have to fly all the way across country, sit in airports for 12 hours because I can't get any direct flights out of where I live to just about anywhere but West Coast United States. So not super excited to be hanging with the Delta variant in airports and on airliners, but got to do it. What I am going to try to do is Thursday morning. Well, I'm going to fly Thursday so I can get there a morning early, and try to drive out and see the North Carolina, which I'm trying to grind to so quickly here. On Friday morning. So I will snap some photos and stuff. It'd probably just be me on a solo combat mission if that happens, like a commando mission, but that's my goal. I don't know if any of you guys have been to museum ships before. I'm sure some of you have, but I've been to the USS New Jersey when it was berthed in Long Beach for quite a while. That was a really, really cool experience. So to see North Carolina, I've not seen a ship of North Carolina's class. I have seen, which I want to say is South Dakota class, but that's probably not right. But I have been on New Jersey, right, which is the same class as Iowa. So that was really, really cool. So hopefully I can get that squeezed in this week while I'm avoiding the virus. And then did release a YouTube video this morning on Synop just for Chalky. Just for Chalky, I playfully titled it, "Is it the best Tier 6 battleship, tech tree battleship?" That's kind of the question posed in the video, but it's a game I ripped from the stream. Some of you guys were probably there for that game. I know Chalky was, that I feature in it. In reflecting on that ship, realized it is a very good ship, but I think it's going to be a gunfight between Synop and North Carolina as to who kind of comes out the top dog in line grind ships. That's kind of why I was asking Hitman the other day, Hitman stream, kind of coyly, because I wanted to see what Chalky would say versus what Hitman would say. So we have Hitman and others on the side of North Carolina. We have Chalky leading the charge for Synop, so pretty funny. So there is a new YouTube video I released this morning on Synop, and then obviously Treasure Hunt. I have 25 keys unlocked. How much do you guys have done on that? I have kind of lapsed. I didn't play yesterday because I was trying to get this YouTube video finished. Definitely not going to be spending a bunch of money on keys. So real money, gold wise or silver wise. So it just kind of is what it is. I'm probably going to wind up with like 30 keys unlocked max. And I did pull a couple crates out of that and some global XP, but not too worried about it. So free time, you pulled a Southern Dragon out of a treasure hunt crate. That is cool. Southern Dragon is Miyoko, and I love Miyoko. And then you hopefully get a camo with that at least gives you the camouflage and the dispersion bonus. Unfortunately, on Legends, our camos, well, maybe that one gets an earnings bonus too, hopefully, because it is a true premium, right? It's not just a premium skin. So that's cool. I really like Miyoko. In fact, my high that isn't a legendary tier game is in Aoba. It was for quite a while. I had like 185,000 in Aoba. I think I got 180,000 in Synop last week, or earlier this week. But I don't really play for XP scores, which you guys know, or for damage scores. I play more for overall XP. So, but that's cool. Free time, any free ships are great, especially when you don't have to pay for those crates. Or started watching a little bit of Spartan Elite's video this afternoon on his take on the CC situation. I didn't watch the whole thing because it's 30 minutes and he was kind of spooling up relatively slowly, but he was talking about, I guess, Dirty Mike D trying to spend a ton of money to unlock the key and was never successfully able to do that because it was only in that one loot box, right? So you can probably buy those loot boxes again right now. So you probably spent more money to not get it. Not a mechanic I enjoy. The loot box. All right, so we've got one heroic achievement knocked out. So we don't have to get all of our weekly Havoc done for this and next week to unlock the ZF6, but we're going to try to get as much done as possible and get caught up this week. And if not, our campaign, it rolls over this time, right, you guys? So I can get a little bit behind. But again, now I'm realizing I'm going to be gone next weekend. So I'm going to have to get down in the bunker and really grind Monday through Wednesday. Talking all this through has helped me realize I got to get my buns and gear. Hey, if anyone wants to do count-ins, I'm totally fine with doing that. We're going to... Oh, there's the Cabaras. That's what we played for Moist the last game on Friday. We didn't have the best... I got into a game without the best team, which seems to be the story of my life in Legendary tier, which is one reason why I play it so infrequently. You guys like Legendary tier? I just don't like the matchmaking. All right, I'll wait about 10 seconds, Moist. See if you may already be in a game. 10, 15. Tell me if you want to do a count in on tier 5 or just catch me on the next game. But good news is we're getting pretty close. I'm going to run triple boosters on everything today because I do need to knock out ship XP. I used quite a bit of them last weekend with the 5X weekend, and we are 20,000 hit points from North Carolina. So I can't say I've been grinding feverishly because I haven't done nothing beyond really anything beyond my first win bonus and any other additional games I've had to play. We're going to go ahead and load in for this one. But we are making progress. Then catching back up with Chalky says that Lewandowski is the best striker in the world right now. I can't argue with that. Polish Wonder. You must have been freaking out when you weren't sure that he was going to stay with Bayern this last off period. He was talking about potentially moving, or was that the prior year? Not a guy you want to let go from your team if you can at all help it. All right, Tennessee. Boat of mixed results. Hey, Zai, how are you? Say hello out on the YouTube side. All is silent over there. We are going out to YouTube and to Twitch simultaneously. We will try to keep this play as salt-free as possible. Which I usually say at the top of the stream as well. Been pretty successful with that lately. A couple weeks ago, I lost 13 out of 14 games in one session. By myself, thankfully. Oh, Zai unlocked the ZF6. Be interesting to hear your take on it. I think some people are judging it really quickly without doing any research on it and just playing a few games in it and expecting it to be very similar to some of the other higher tier German destroyers. And I don't think that's the case. It's not a knife fighting DD. It has a slower rate of fire, I think. And the strength in that, the kind of different strength in that is the AP rounds. Like shooting superstructure on battleships and doing 6-7K salvos on a pretty fast repeat. And then having, kind of a toolkit with the main battery reload booster and some other stuff. So, hey Haas, thank you for the follow. Very, very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Every follow, every free sub on the YouTube side. I thank you. I thank you for stopping and spending some of your time. If you have any questions about the game, please let them fly. Nothing is too basic on my channel. I've been playing World of Warships in total for almost 6 years, counting the PC experience, and was a World of Warships Legends alpha tester. So I know more about the game than some folks. I'm not the best player you'll run across, but I usually am pretty workable. And as you'll see, I've tried to play the team game more exclusively than just trying to play for my own stats and glory. So Said I don't really go for just damage totals. People who post games tend to post a lot of games with regard to here's my big damage total, and that's just part of the story, right? And we missed on those back turrets. Oh, but someone took out Legal. Maybe you have a Cali behind me. Yes, good shot, bad bow tie. All right, we've already lost a destroyer. We have 3 per side. You guys know how I feel about that. Don't want to lose your destroyers early. Not only lose your cap threat, you lose your spotting. We do have 1 destroyer alive on our side, so hopefully he is a little bit more careful, given that we need him to live. Where is our other destroyer? Why am I blind on the mini-map? I'm not seeing our third. Oh, he's in A. Okay, so definitely, we would like to have 1 destroyer left on our side.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to shimmy. I don't want to go straight into C, because there's a Hatsu. Let's call for focus fire on the Hatsu, just in case he peeks out. Nern's gonna eat a torp. Ugh, we didn't get any damage on him because he's dead, but we'll take it. So we lost our other DD that was sitting in the smoke. So now I'm in a fat, slow U.S. Navy battleship going up against what seems to be 2 DDs. Yeah. Well, at least 1. Possibly 2. So we're going to go ahead and load HE. Where's the Hatsu? Let's get our plane up. We don't have sonar, but we do have an airplane. Airplanes do, as MP Call in our last stream said, poor man's sonar. Which it is. Yeah, we were figuring that was coming. See if we can time this turn. Okay, that's why we angled out. I can't approach C and stay properly angled into the battleship with destroyers about, so yeah, I see that. Can screw him up with some HE. Hopefully our California, yep, he's shooting at him. He had AP loaded, but that's okay. Hey, if you have AP loaded, shoot it and then reload when you've got a DD in your sights. It's not optimal to shoot AP at DDs, but don't be shy. Shoot what's ready, what's in the chamber, and then reload to the other ammo type on your next salvo. One functionality in PC that's really, really cool is in PC you can set what next round is in the chamber because you have your keyboard. You have your keyboard and you can actually load up the next round, which is cool. Okay. Able to pick off the DD. We still are unsure what other DD activity there is there. I'm not sure. Looks like there was a second one spotted there. So I still don't want to approach the island in the middle of sea. Just gonna angle out. California kind of did the same. Okay. We'll go back to armor-piercing rounds. Shoot, sorry guys. That DD is either a Bly's or a Hatsu. I'm guessing Hatsu because I don't remember seeing Bly's pop up. Who's that? Okay, it is the Hatsu. So we have to be aware of stealth, aware of low detection distance, aware of longer range torpedoes. Nuremberg, you are living dangerously, showing your broadside to Tennessee. Hopefully he's not spotted. All right. Alright guys, I'm using the tick marks on my aiming line from my circle out to the ship I'm aiming at. Oh, he's done. Okay, good work. Did do a video recently on just how to use a number of tick marks on your horizontal aiming line as a guide for shooting at enemy ships. Those tick marks match up to shell flight time. And they're kind of gauged to about a 30 knot per travel ship. So like your average cruiser travels about 30 knots. Little bugger. Let's go Cap C and try not to eat a salvo full of torps. How about that? Oh, shh. I may be dead, guys. God. Should have bowed in sooner. You want to turn into the torpedoes. I think he has a third rack too, right? Moist, I'm probably going to stream till about 6:30 my time is the goal. My friend, so won't be super long time, but not short. Everyone went and did different things today, so we're eating a little later, but I am in charge of dinner. Yeah, Zai, I'll do a countdown on the next one, okay? Definitely. This doesn't look like it'll take too much longer to mop up. Good news is we have a good ship lead. We now have 2 caps. We're going to grab the third here, hopefully. Let's get some payback. It's about 10 marks all the way out to the far side. Oh, we just missed him. It's 9 or 10 of those hash marks or tick marks going almost all the way out to the left edge of the screen. And when you're zoomed in on 1x magnification that far away from a DD, you pretty much got to put them all the way on the corner of your screen to hit him. Change up my music here. Okay. So we're not having a jam and damage game, so let's get a cap. A cap will really help for an XP gain. Capping is as good as killing a ship. It's 12 a.m. for you, Zai. Yeah, I figure it's pretty late. I was up till pretty late last night, just finishing off this one video I was working on till about probably 1:30 a.m. my time, which I tend to do. I get on a roll when it's late and I won't be tired, and then I'll go to bed and I'll lay awake for another while. So, and then I didn't get to sleep in super late because my dog started moving around, and she's in the lower left of my screen. I always have her there. It's hard to get her to park her on carpet. She gets too hot. I have a second camera now, so webcam, so I may try to park her on a bed on a stream at one point so you guys can actually see her. She's a Bernese Mountain Dog, so she's big and hairy. And oops, we still have HE loaded. She does not like to lay on anything that's soft or warm. She likes things that are cool, like tile. So she wouldn't want to hang very long with me on stream. But she was up early, of course. Every time I stay up late, it's like clockwork on a weekend. She wants to get up early and go out to pee and to eat. So my sleep got disrupted. Okay, our California is shooting HE, so maybe we'll get to finish the Arizona. Sneaky! Low damage total, got 2 kills, and got a cap. So that XP gain will not be terrible. But what I'm not knocking out is my top 2 finishes. At all. Look at our Nürnberg. Way to go, Nürnberg. Nürnberg is a sneaky good ship. I'm a fan of Nürnberg. Trivia fact, I was in the top 50 on the the North American server for Nürnberg on World of Warships PC for quite some time. I might still be there, I don't know. I haven't played many games lately in it. I do have Paolo Emilio, Moist. Yes. Okay, Moist is busy, so he's not counting in. But Zai, if you're ready, let's do tier 6, if you would. tier 6 the best tier, right? I honestly think it's the best tier. Zai has 2 Siberian Huskies. Yeah, always hot no matter what. Always panting a bit. You're a cooler climate than me too. You're in Scotland, right? So being in Pacific Northwest, we're kind of desert-y. We're pretty dry. Our winters are cool, but we've had the hottest summer in the 16 years that I've lived here. Very hot summer. Record number of days over 100 degrees. Yada, yada, yada. A lot of what you guys are probably seeing where you live. Whoops. What am I doing here? Just wanted to check upgrade progress. So, yeah, not bad. We knocked out another 5,000 XP in a very slow warm-up game. Moist, I might try to stream, yeah, at least one time between Monday and Wednesday since I'm going to be out of town. I have soccer practice Tuesday and Wednesday night, so maybe tomorrow. We'll see. It's going to be kind of a crazy short work week and trying to get out of town. And I bought a suit online, which is kind of weird, right? You guys just buying stuff like that online, and it all fit, but my suits were so old. I figured I better buy a suit so I look halfway presentable at my brother's wedding. It's his second wedding though, so I feel like it's your second turn, so I don't have to be perfect. I was at your first wedding, though we were wearing like sandals and beach wear because that was in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico, on the beach. So, yeah, it's his second go-around. I've been married for going on 23 years. He didn't last that long the first time. He says, I'll have school tomorrow, see if you can run a stream later on like we started today. If I stream tomorrow, it will be later in the evening. Definitely later in the evening. Okay, let's work a few of these ships. I'm going to try to do Leon, since Leon was really unfair the other night. Leon and Sinop, and then maybe try to do a couple tier 7 games. Charles Martel and Albemarle. Okay, Zai, if you're ready, I'll do count it in on the Twitch side on tier 6. Been playing a lot more battleships of late. Okay. If you're ready, Zao will count 3, 2, 1, go. And then we'll get started. So ready, 3, 2, 1, go, and load. Moist, remind me after this game to show you what my build is. I haven't looked at that commander build for a little while. I know that whole line I have kind of buffed for AP penetration, concealment, those sorts of things, mobility and rudder shift, because I like to kite in my cruisers, though that commander, it's not a perfect setup because obviously you do have the HE on Belfast that you don't have on the tech tree light cruisers for Britain. So it's not probably the 100% perfect if I built a standalone commander for Belfast, but it works for me. So yeah, we can go over that. Belfast's a great ship, man. That was a really good pull. Again, we say we pulled like from the slot machine, right? The WG slot machine. Didn't get in. I'm on Trident. Good news is I'm top tier. It's kind of weird when we get 2 platoons on our team, 2 divisions, and there's not one on the other team. Oh, there's only 1. Okay. Still, it's kind of interesting when they don't match up an equal number of divs. It's a Southern Dragon out there. Is that, So free time, have you gotten a chance to play your Southern Dragon yet? I do like the kiting playstyle of the Japanese cruisers. I enjoy it. Mogami's a fun ship. Suzui's a fun ship. I like Miyoko. I like Aoba. Furataka. It's one of the first cruiser lines I played on PC. After I tried the US cruisers. I was pretty horrible in them to begin with. I used to think, oh, you're trying to use your torpedoes, because I did not play DDs back then at all. So I would always try to like kamikaze torpedo people. Oh. Alright, well we're going to continue this kiting away. We're going to go ahead and use damage control. We'll loop back around and support A. What is this cruiser doing? Buddy Oni, you need to get out, dude.
Many thanks. Problem solved, sir.
Gotta support him, but he's dead. Ugh, there's DD to shoot at. Oh my. This is just not the way to play a Buddy Oni, eh? At least they had a YOLOing cruiser too. How is he still alive? You'd think Gneisenau could... Yeah, he's dead now. You'd think Gneisenau could pen him with HE. Or sorry, Nelson could pen him with even his HE. Okay, we'll try to bow into the Nelson. Gepard's gonna try to torpedo us on the corner. Ooh, okay, that smoke screen's helpful. I'm actually gonna kite away from the Gneisenau. DD, you gotta get out of there too, buddy. He just basically settled for one torpedo run. I'm in a serious load of doo-doo. I have no support. Fun times in World of Warships Legends. Oh, we have another DD. Dude, don't shoot your guns! Fubuki, you don't need your guns. Use your torpedoes. Okay, I can't turn to use my front turrets on Gneisenau or I'm going to show complete broadside to the Nelson. Man, butt is soft on these French battleships. Get set on fire again. Just need to try to kite away. Our Belfast's almost dead over there. Not going to use my second damage control. Trying to hit the very front part of the Nelson on its kind of weak front cheek area. Probably should just gone under the turrets. It's better when you're close up. Shoot. Okay, we have 2 heals. We'll be able to heal back a decent amount of this fire damage.
Enemy destroyer detected. All forces, provide cover for that target.
I prefer to try to hit Nelsons with AP because they can heal back so much fire damage with their heal. We successfully juked him a little bit. There's gonna be people shooting at me from a crossfire situation when the Fiji pushes through, most likely. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and use this heal. Ah. Come on. I love you, Wargaming Spotting Mechanics. Your Gneisenau shooting HE as well. Don't complain about cruiser players being HE spammers. These battleship players, Gneisenau shooting HE at me from 15 kilometers. Guns are good enough to use the AP.
Problem solved, sir. All stations.
Yeah, I know, dude. If I turn... Okay, I'll take a chance. I'm just trying to regroup at B. Because we do have B. We possess B. Oh, crap. Oh, my. Yeah, New Mexico popped up. This is just... crossfire situation. killed by the Fiji. Hey, good smack on the eyes now. Got over 50,000 in damage, but you know, when you lose a destroyer and a cruiser on your flank in the first 2 minutes and you're in a slow BB, it's going to be painful for the rest of the time. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in another game just because I need to try to get work done. Ugh, I was rocking some Leon games last week. This week has been a struggle for the teams to line up for Leon. And I do like Leon. We were talking about Normandy on the last stream. I like Normandy a lot too. Go ahead and jump over to Synop. Oh, first let's talk about for Moist question. So running, let's see. Gonna accuracy, rudder shift, and concealment. So not double rudder, because if you use concealment on a British light cruiser, it's going to get you down to around the 10-kilometer base detection range, which is pretty damn good. And then Tenant, he gets damage reduction as kind of his core skill. Whoops. Let's just have to do it this way. So I always run Ingenious because I like knowing how many ships are targeting me. That gives us also a buff to turret traverse. So full speed ahead for maximum speed and reduction in rudder shift. Sponge also defensive, so keeps your incoming damage total a little less, as well as your module hit points. And then we've got steer clear for rudder shift. Fully packed because I like having extra smoke charge. And then I have not looked at these inspirations for a while. So yeah, so Yamamoto's on here for AP rounds for the British light cruisers. Again, that's not a specific thing to Belfast, obviously, but it helps a lot with Fiji, Edinburgh. And then we have Kuznetsov for a range increase. I like to sit in my smoke on Belfast. She doesn't have a huge base range, so having a little bit of extra reach is nice when you're spamming battleships from smoke. Captain Arcana, what's up, man? How are you? How are you doing? Hope everything's going well. The streamer, something like that. I don't know what I am these days. Yeah, so that's it. That's the build on Belfast. Moist. Hope you like the ship. That was a good and lucky pull. So Arcana, what have you been up to? Have you been playing much Legends or doing some other stuff? All right, we're gonna go ahead and try to load in on Synop. So I'm assuming that you had a better team than I did. You're still in your game. So we'll go ahead and we'll go count instead. We will count anyway. And we'll load in. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. I'm very good, Arcana. Thank you for asking. Yes. Things are busy between work and coaching and trying to do some of the streaming stuff, and the kids both started new both are going to high school now, and both moved to new schools this year. And unfortunately, it was not the same school due to kind of prior work history and credit. The credits they had earned didn't transfer to one singular school, so we had to move them to 2 different schools. So fun. Get to do a lot more driving, not just now back and forth to the football pitch for practice. We have to drive them back and forth to school a lot further distance because their old school is right next to our house. So that part kind of stinks, but they both seem happy with the move, and it was just the first week last week. But yeah, you know, I know I'll get another 4 or 5 years down the road when they're off at college and things really slow down from all their activities perspective, and I'll look back and say, wow, that went really fast and I miss it. But it's kind of like right now, like when I was working full-time and in business school at the same time and driving, commuting down to business school about a 45-minute to hour-and-a-half commute depending on the traffic in Southern California when I lived there. It was a very busy time having a full-time job and going basically to full-time business school over 3 years instead of 2 years. Some days I'd just curl up in a ball and go, oh my God, I'm not going to get everything done. There's no freaking way. But, you know, it all kind of works out. And then when it's all done, you survive it. You're kind of like, well, I do kind of miss that pace sometimes. And I miss mostly those people that I got to hang with that I don't see or hear all that much of anymore. Oh God, we're spotted. Told you guys I'm an antsy battleship player, so I can't just throw it in reverse and go backwards. What do we got here? These guys are going to outgun me from a range perspective. I'm pretty sure of that because I have only like a 14.8 main battery range on my setup for Sinop. Kazi. Okay. I'm gonna have to be careful heading into this area. If I could trust my destroyer to live. I'm not seeing a ton of ships coming our direction. Looks like they're kind of lemminging over to the opposite side of the map. So I am gonna go ahead and push ahead. I'm just hoping my destroyer lives. Dude, do not eat the torps right there. You ate a torp. Ugh. Okay, we have a Miyoko who's almost dead. Ugh, man. Not pretty. Dude, Miyoko, you're gonna run right into me, right? Hi, Chihuahua. And now I can't turn. You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, well, you deserve that. I don't mean to be mean or salty about it, but he 100% deserved that. He wasn't paying any attention to where he was going. And my DD is dead over here. So I'm pretty much destroyer bait. Deep breaths. Love the game. Oh my gosh, guys. Alright. North Carolina has fired, so let's turn this horrid turning radius beast. Here come the torpedoes. Yeah, we're in a world of hurt right now. We may have timed our turn okay for the torpedoes, but I'm trying not to show broadside to the North Carolina when he's reloaded. How is it having a decent team, guys on the other team? Son of a bitch. So that's the issue with this game, guys, is you want to play like a battleship, right? Get into the cap, support your destroyer, and then they eat torps and die. And you have your cruiser that's already almost dead block you from turning. Ugh. So that's why I usually play, I don't want to say my battleships in a cruiser style for the whole match. It's not a whole match thing, but usually for the first, I don't know, 5 minutes of the match, I play more mobile. I dip in, dip out. I make turns away from caps as well as into, because when I do choose to take a cap position, this happens to me so much. And I know it's what upsets a lot of people about the game, especially from a battleship play perspective. Meat Shield Miyoko. If I could only have permanently mounted him there after he died, if he would stick there and then provide you a whole nother, you know, hull worth of protection as spaced armor, then that would have been worthwhile. Ugh. Arcana said, just ranked out in 56 games solo. Okay. Finish ranked. I have not played any ranked here. I played a little bit of ranked, a couple games on PC actually, for the first time in forever. Is that a song from Frozen? Might be. And I won 2 games on ranked on PC and quit. Like, this is fun. I won 2 games. I'm out. It was like, it's a tier 6 sprint. And then if you rank out of your tier 6 sprint, it takes you into an upper league, kind of the way they ran a long rank for us in Legends, and into a tier 8 sprint. I I don't have too much of the stomach to play a lot of ranked. But that's awesome, dude. Glad you ranked out. Hope you have a lot more than 990 steel. I've been asking people who has the most steel. I heard someone out there in the community, like Captain Murder, has maybe 25,000. Need to post that on Reddit or something. Just kind of ask people where they're at steel-wise. Let's see where Leon is at. Leon's getting pretty close. I'm going to play one more game in a battleship, and then I'm going to play cruisers and just be more mobile. All right. I will count down for those of you who might be ready on tier 6. Gonna go 3, 2, 1, and go. Two fun games to start out with, guys. Has it only been 2? It feels like 100. That was made worse by the fact that I didn't realize that North Carolina had 2 friends with him. Yukikaze, usually it's a player who kind of knows what they're doing, being a premium Japanese DD, and I've seen a lot of players have a good game in that particular ship. But I was just hoping that our Japanese DD would be able to match him and just hold him and keep him honest, but that didn't happen, obviously. We did evade the torpedoes, though. We frustrated the destroyer. That was the win. If we were getting potential damage missions done, that would have helped, because you do get some pretty big potential damage for avoiding torpedoes. I'm not sure the distance that they have to go by within to give you credit for potential damage, but I know some people who run all co-op on the PC side to get potential damage missions done when it's allowed, and you just basically take a cruiser and you sail straight into the melee, and you basically try to bow into ships that fire torpedoes at you, like the destroyers. What is this guy doing? Oh, I thought he's going backwards for a second. Boise, be a good Boise player. This guy seems AFK. Eastern Dragon. We load in with anybody? No one we know. 14,000 steel. That's good, dude. Arms race tier 7 in Bismarck. That's what I heard. Like, those ships can basically just keep regenerating, right? But it's probably kind of frustrating killing the enemy version. What is it with the Miyokos right now? Battleships not super mobile when you're driving your cruiser. Okay, and they're all bailing the ACAB. So instead of defending the side that we're spawning on, which is the best bet, we're gonna defend, or basically not defend A, let them come through. There's a chappie there, just burned my ass.
The ship is on fire.
And get us in a crossfire. So that's a great strategy. Get back turrets on the chappie. Come on, guys. Cruisers, you see this guy sitting still? Doing nothing? Thank you. So guys, use your radial commands. Use the command wheel. It doesn't always work, but you know what? Sometimes it does. I'm committed to this turn. Now I'm going to eat a torpedo. For the love of Pete. And we used our damage control. Get set on fire. That is going to really hurt. Yep.
The ship is on fire.
Oh my lord. Hey Wood Hippie, how are you? The teaser for the next campaign ship. And hello, 5 Jumps as well. You're right, it's about time. It should be pretty close. I can't believe we're going into the last week of a campaign again. That is insane. Ah, and we took a flood too. Guys, this is like example of how not to play. But again, we're getting completely abandoned on our side from our cruisers, so... Can you guys do anything to, like, alleviate my pain?
Torpedoes astern.
That would be a no. Just get me out of my misery in this match again. We're dead. Alright, Chihuahua. Alright, we're gonna play cruisers. I can't take any more of this right now. Yikes. We reacted pretty quickly. I was going to go to A and kind of try to hold the line there by myself. I recognized we were getting bailed on, so I did try to start getting out of the area. But when you go up against a couple higher tier ships, there's a chappie there who is going to burn the heck out of your butt. Especially in a French battleship where you have thin superstructure armor that gets penetrated by HE rounds, as well as pretty easily set on fire. And we had Akatsukis on that side. At least one. Yeah, no, at least one. Who knows, maybe 2. So those torpedoes came from quite different angles. So, ouch. Yeah, the blob on C. Oh, hey boats, how are you? Yeah, let's just go back and let's look. This is a really good deployment strategy, right? Full blob at C. Our cruisers that spawned at A are at C. So we basically left the back door wide open at A. Even if they do something there for a little bit and get through, the destroyers are going to be coming around the backside. We're losing the B cap as well. So, and they're probably all worried about that cruiser out on the 9 line, almost the far east edge of the map. So they're probably worried about that guy unless they just killed him. Unless that was the Belfast. So they're all going to be not wanting to move because they're worried about that cruiser out there on the edge. No, he's still there. Such bad team deployment. Not, well, I don't know how much more I could have done other than not hit that first torpedo, but I was already committed to my turn. To live longer. All right, guys. How are you doing? You all having a fun day? Early exit probably for the best. Yeah, there wasn't a lot I was going to do but get chased all the way across the map. So far, 5 Jumps, it's been 3 painful team games in Battleship. So we're just going to switch it up. Not into Asthma. Oh my god. We'll play a couple tier 7 cruiser games, and then I might just jump in and for the first time in a while, either just run some premium cruisers because I do need to get some hit points knocked out and some XP. Do something like that. Let's shift gears to Albemarle, which is kind of what feels like halfway between a battleship and a cruiser, but a hell of a lot more mobile than what we were just in. So I did a YouTube video on 5 deployments not to do, 5 map mistakes not to make. And then of course, first comment back from someone on Reddit, because I do post some things over there, was like, well, you should have told people how to deploy, you know. And it's like what the right deployment is. And it's hard to tell you what the right deployment is in every situation. But I did put in there the rule of thumb, which is defend the cap that you spawn by. And if you spawn middle, actually try to split 50-50 and go to the 2 edge or flanking caps. You don't want to be ideally on one flank and in the center, because if you leave the entire A cap open like in that game, any poor battleship soul like me who's left there is screwed when they all push through and realize there's no pressure there. And then they just come around the back, and now they have 2 Akatsukis most likely harassing them from the back, plus the Chapayev harassing them from the back, setting them on fire. So it's that was pretty much almost a full lemming train. And if you just don't completely push through that cap as quickly as possible and get around behind them, it's gonna lose 90% of the time, 95% of the time.
Action stations.
Would it be? Oh, you were bombing boats in a match. 5 jumps trying to something new to help your mentality. Stop playing when you get 1 good game or 3 losses in a row. You know, I'm pretty good at maintaining an even strain with this game for the most part, but some days are just frustrating. And that's probably why I became a cruiser main, because it's really frustrating being the battleship player if that's what you guys play mainly, and you get, you know, constantly abandoned or not supported, or your DD dies out in front of you like the prior game. That's 2 games in a row that were just absolutely as horrid as I can play. But again, a lot of it is because I trusted my teammates in front of me in the A cap in the last game, and then, or sorry, the game before that, and then this game, everyone took off to the other side. So we're still working on A. I'm not leaving A. Oops. I'm going to be the cruiser that goes in front of my battleship now. Turn, baby, turn. My bad. Yamato wins the mass battle. So I'm still going to be supporting A here. I'm just going to be kind of looping in and out in regards to how I support it. Oh god, and here comes an Ochakov. Like how exactly not to play Ochakov. Bombing straight into a cap. What the hell? What is wrong with people today? Don't take the car, you'll kill yourself. Okay, so we're just gonna kite off the Ochakov and then loop back around to A. He's not even going to use his mobility at all and change direction. He's just going to act like a bot in AI mode. He's acting exactly like one of the bots in AI. Getting spotted from the center. Chakov has 8-kilometer torpedoes. We'll have to be aware of that if we loop into this area. She's kind of hard to citadel, so I have good HE shells in this ship, so I'm going to stick with HE for right now. I'm not going to waste my torpedoes because I think they're going to be dead pretty long before I could even use my torpedoes. There used to be a PSA, public service announcement on TV, you guys, about drunk driving. Don't take the car, you'll kill yourself. I'd also do another PSA. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, and an Ochakov or Ochakov is also a terrible thing to waste. Well, it's not just my team. Anywho, I feel more in charge of my own destiny sometimes playing a cruiser with the mobility that I have. An ability to get in and out of situations and reposition. So basically did that looping turn, knowing that we're going to come back into support A. But we have 4 ships at A. Someone else came over, so let's actually go. We are going to rotate over and support C the way things are shaping up. I think if our 4 ships push through A, we'll be all right there. We need to cap it. Uh-oh. Hey, Wheezy, how's it going? Hey, thank you for the host, Wheezy. Hope you're having a good Sunday, a good rest of your weekend. Thanks for stopping by again. We're in the midst of a really horrendous streak of games. The last 2 games are as bad as it gets. So with your arrival, it only signals it can only go up from here. It can only get better, as Howard Jones once said. Okay, we have to watch out for this Baltimore. Okay, managed to smack the Kagero a couple times. We are going to prioritize him. Destroyers first, cruisers second, battleships third. Order of operations, right? In general. Destroyer spotting us. Yikes. I have what must be an Alaska off to my left. Yeah, I don't want that Alaska shooting at me either. Okay, do a quick swing to the right just to check for islands. Baltimore's bow in, so I'm going to stick with HE rounds for now. And I'm going to kite away from him because if he starts shooting me with AP, that could get bad. We'll see how smart a Baltimore player he is. He's shooting HE. I'd be shooting AP at me if I were him. AL Baltimore, so okay. Just gonna kind of kite away from him, and I also have to mind the 2 battleships in the sea cap. Just don't want to die right now. That's the goal, just to not die at this moment. We took some hits there, you guys. Hey, Wood Hippie, thank you for the follow. Really, really, really appreciated. Sorry I'm not modeling stellar play for you right now. Hopefully my behavior, my calm behavior is better than my play. Semi-calm. So my little eyeball from Ingenious shows that we are still getting spot up by, or aimed at by 1 player. I'm pretty sure the Alaska hit me, and that's what took a pretty good chunk out of our hit points. So we're up by 2 ships. We have 3 caps, so I'm just going to try to get out of the area and reposition. Monarch is shooting HE at me, looks like. I just want to stay alive. I'll get more deadly as this game goes along. That Alaska is probably shooting at the Worcester now. The Worcester's kind of like a screen for me, so now I can show a little broadside, have a turn, while they're shooting at the closer cruiser. Ooh, Alaska got a good whack, so let's try to get him out. Just estimating where he'll be based on his icon, even though we're kind of doing a blind shot. And then I'm watching the mini-map to see that he's now turning away. So just to estimate his path of travel. Okay, he's out. Hey, team rally. So this team had a more symmetrical deployment. Roughly half the ships went to A and roughly half the ships went to C. And it's like magic, you guys. It works. I'm not the first person who does content to say that. On Legends, also, it's much longer on the PC side. Some folks like iChase that I follow been saying, defend your spawn location, the nearest cap, the nearest flanking cap, and good things will generally happen. Not always going to win. You still have to execute, right? But having a balanced deployment, unlike the last game, really, really, really helps. Damage total is a little better. Thought he might be grounding. Okay, let's get in. Let's get in and get some fire on these 2 battleships. So, what show are you guys talking about? Oh, The Walking Dead. Is it season premiere tonight? Honestly, I had it on my DVR the remainder of the series forever, and I got a new DVR, so I lost my episodes. And then they just made the, what is it, season 11? Is that the last one? Available on Netflix. So I just caught up, like literally 2 days ago, like the Negan origin episode. So I just watched that 2 days ago, so I'm now completely caught up. AMC tonight. Okay, and I think this is the last season, right? Which feels about right to me. I think the show's getting a little tired, but I've watched every season. I like that kind of show, even though it can be so dismally depressing. When you have a whole episode recently in this season about Carol just trying to make soup, I know there was deeper things going on underneath the surface, but kind of like, okay, I think we've been down these lanes and these roads a lot, and I did think that last episode of the most recent season with Negan was a good one, but that was the first one in a while where I was like, oh, that was a really good episode. Okay, better, guys. Got a win. We got up into the upper half. Albemarle is, I'm probably butchering that for you guys in the UK with regard to how I pronounce that. I apologize. Is not fully upgraded either. So this ship is going to get a lot better for me when I get the hull upgrade and have more turning ability, because I like to play as a kiting player, which is maneuvering in open water, not just parking cruisers behind islands. And then we also, there's a main battery upgrade as well, probably Shell Alpha Strike and potentially reload. So that ship has nowhere to go but up. Guys, I would div up with some of you guys tonight, but I'm not going to be on super late tonight, so makes you think differently of Negan. Yeah, no spoilers, but I thought that was kind of a while coming. I don't know if they actually covered all that ground in the comics, because I've only read like the first couple runs of the comics, so, and I know they deviated pretty significantly, but yeah, the show's not about zombies, right? It's about human nature and about what people do to people under stressful situations, and the transformation of all these characters is kind of what the show is really about, right? Okay. That was good. We picked up, okay, we do have wins. I think we got a win. Yeah, we did get a win in Tennessee, which we wanted. And we got a win in Albemarle. I'm not touching any more tier 6 battleships right now because I'm too frustrated. Oh, we could do... Gosh, Edinburgh has nothing. Let's do Charles Martel, and then I'm going to jump down, play a couple premium tier 6 cruisers probably. So I just recently got the final upgrade. In fact, I think in my last game I got the final upgrade, which upgrades the main battery, Alpha Strike, and cuts 2 seconds off the reload time. So Charles Martel is one of my favorite cruisers of all time from PC. So happy to have her completely upgraded. Not the best ship stock on Legends. And as I've said before, you have to choose between your airplane and your heel. I would err on the side of heel on Legends. But it's a bummer not having your plane when you can use it to spot when you're behind an island or your team is smoked up. It took me a lot of games to realize, hey, I'm in a cruiser and I'm sitting behind my battle or my destroyer who just smoked up, and I'd have a plane and I'd just sit there. Finally learned to get my plane up and spot for everyone on the opposite side of the smoke. All right, I love the look of this boat. The funnel's really cool. I just love the French fruit. The whole French cruiser line for me is one of my favorite lines. Except for tier 9 and tier 10 on PC. They're tougher ships to play. With regard to, you get hit once by a tier 10 battleship and you get smoked. but very mobile, good HE rounds, relatively fast-firing guns for heavy cruiser guns. Uh-oh. They do have the speed boost, and they're speedy ships. The 9 and 10 on PC are not super turny. They don't have the same rudder shift capability as Charles Martel, so they tend to get hit easier, and it's painful. Okay. Let's see if we can put together a decent game. There's no domination cap, so I'm not going to run in any closer than I need to, especially against legendary tier battleships. Kind of see how this flank shapes up. Okay. Wow, there's a unicorn. It's funny, we see an Azima after I joke about not loading in my Azima. Gotta be one of the least played ships, right, guys? In Legends. I can't get along with her. Whoa. What's up, Aimer? Oh, man. Okay, nice work. Dude, Alaska, I don't know what... You're gonna go in and bow tank 3 ships? There's no cap there, so he doesn't need to go that far in, honestly. Try to get the Iowa to turn away for the sake of the Alaska. Now we can work on the Azima. Wow, the Alaska's smoking some guys, though. Damn. Maybe we can set the Azima on fire. Come on. Okay, Iowa's probably TNS up. Alaska, I just can't go as far as you, dude. I don't have the durability. And you got a GK coming, too. I'm gonna circle back. I'm gonna look for the Azima to peek. If he peeks out, we'll support. Okay, cool. Got a fire on the Iowa. Azima needs a buff, Hippie. Wood Hippie, you're so true. Reload and turret traverse are the thing that just make it a complete dog. In my opinion. I'm sure there's some people who play Azima well. There has to be, right? There's a ship for everybody, but even as a cruiser person, I just find it really difficult. Good God, I didn't even see our Conqueror over there. What the hell? Where'd he teleport in from? Okay, maybe that's why the Alaska was was more brave. I didn't even notice we had the Conqueror. I didn't look that far over, and then he ran into the island. Well, a side. The island stuck into the side. Charles Martel, if I had AP loaded, would be a better choice against the Azima, but HE is pretty good on this ship too, to be honest. He's out. This GK is feeling a little bit like I did a couple games ago. So I'm going to watch Alaska's health bar, because as soon as Alaska's health is gone, I'm going to have to be kiting away. Let's throw some torpedoes out. Our torpedoes are 10 kilometer. What are you doing, Conqueror? Okay, well the GK at least has to get... Try to get fire on 2 axes, which he's not going to be able to do. Alaska is playing it really well. Staying bow in. Super cruiser, so has very good armor for a cruiser. Stay bow in. And And we're being a lot more brave than we normally would right now because I have 2 people distracting the GK. And the Iowa is also shooting at the nearby ships. Good work, guys. Okay.
Nice work.
So now the Alaska's out. How's the Conqueror's health? I'm just going to check his health. Don't know if he has a heal. I'm going to guess the Iowa may turn in. So let's just get some torpedoes out. It can't hurt. Just complimentary play. If he shifts his aim to me, I'll bow into him immediately. Just to make my target area smaller.
Engine boost deactivated.
Good work, guys. Okay. I guess that GK ran into the side, T-boned the sideline because he was probably trying to angle away. So... Okay, so no central caps. So where are the enemies? We had a Kansas in the middle. Tirpitz. I don't have great detectability. 13 kilometers because I've taken double rudder shifts. So I'm going to have to be careful. Alabama. He's going to spot me as soon as I come around the corner. Though he is going to probably be focused on the 2 battleships out in front of him in our cap. So I'm going to take a risky route. I'm going to run this edge and then kite away to the right. I'm going to hug the island and try to shoot over my shoulder. Would it be saying the DD is mid? That is a good call too. Oh. Let's modify the plan. I don't want to turn straight into the Kansas too, but I might be able to chip in and get the Tirpitz on fire right here. Yeah, that Bama is really close.
Nice work.
No, I'm gonna kind of hug in here. Okay, got far enough around the corner where we broke detection. Now I'm actually gonna back up and go bow towards the Kansas, try to spot him again. Let's go ahead and use our speed boost. 5 Gems talking about, oops, sorry, I'll read after. Oh crap. Let's throw torpedoes out, you never know. I know Kansas can't turn his turret super fast and can't turn his hull super fast, so that's why I'm taking a little bit of a risk.
Look what I have created!
Oh, shite. I can't make the corner. Too greedy. I was trying to get too many guns on him. We're getting a lot of fires, you guys. I haven't played a lot of cruisers of late. Okay, now if we sit right here, we can use this little bit of island to stay concealed. Okay, we contributed there. Where are these guys? I'm kind of in a horrid position. I'm gonna have to go and do a wide turn to turn around. Nice double Notzer. Oh, Wood Hippie, you're correct, man. Except I'm even worse than Notzer on Legends because I just don't like the zoom out gun lock feature as much as I do. I use it all the time. Like between every shot, I'm zooming out, right clicking, zooming out, looking around on PC because it's so easy to do. It's just a lot less comfortable on Legends. Okay, just slowing down to increase our turn speed. You can shorten your turning circle. by going down to about half speed for just a few seconds and then kicking it back up again. All right, now we ride. Good God. Stuck in this little spot. Hey, Mighty Foz, what's wrong with the picture? If the colors are different, I run in colorblind mode. I don't see red very well. Reds and greens get messed up for me, and the home team icon's blue on here. They actually probably changed that because of colorblind people like me. So that's all awesome, actually, but the red team, like, if I have a ship between me and a bunch of trees, I can't read their icon or their name very well or their health level. Well, their health levels, yeah, health levels color too. So it blends into the background. So the yellowish color is easier for me to see. So yeah, some people call me the mustard man. There are 2 different settings, Deutenopia, Tritonopia. I am red-green colorblind, so this is the one that helps me. Yeah, it could be yellowish, orangish. I'm not like where I can only see in black and white. A lot of people ask that whenever they hear you're colorblind. I do see colors, but I just don't see colors in the same spectrum that you guys do. Some I would see the same, but if you look at like the 3 primary colors, red, green, and blue, like blue is probably blue, the same blue I see as you, but my reds, greens, browns, everything else like that is a different shade than what you would see. You know what? Let's come in on this same side as the Conqueror. That's a narrow area. I won't be able to turn very much if the DD, who was off to my left, if he could torp me in that channel easier than me going this way. Alaska, 16.6. Yeah, he's out. I'm not going to worry about the cap at this point, obviously. If I went into the cap, they'd immediately know where I am, so it's just kite away. We're more worried about the wind. We've given away some ships here. Alaska could tear me up pretty fast. Well, dude, there's no reason to push into there. Just hold the middle. If we go and get torped on the corner, that's like the worst thing that we could do. I'm just going to head back towards our base area to make sure they don't have enough time to cap our base anyway. So yeah, Foz, that is the story on my color selection. Ugh, I don't want to be near this Massachusetts. Just in case the DD were to get torps off and double kill both of us, that would be the worst. Try to get some distance. He's definitely in the middle now because he's spotting us up. So I'm just trying to get away from the Massachusetts. As long as one of us lives, we're going to win this game. Use sonar. I could see he was sitting behind that corner. It's probably where he was, right here. So Massachusetts tries to bomb into that corner, and he's likely dead. Or he gets a double strike if we both try to go and push the Alaska. Right? Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor when it comes to winning in this game. Where are you at? It's not the best anti-destroyer cruiser in the world because of rate of fire, but it can get the job done. Bow into the Alaska. Oh, we got him. Sweet.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
We got him. So, knowing the way my day was going, if we both had gone forward, we both would have gotten killed by that destroyer. So, again, there's no domination cap, so we had the lead on points. You're 2 minutes or less on the clock. I want the bonus on experience points. With this ship, I've already maxed out my modules, so we've been able to do all of our upgrades, but still, from a silver perspective, right? You want that first win bonus, and you want to get your wins so you get more goodies. Hey, and we actually got a top 2 finish. So we didn't know what our Conqueror was doing, but our Conqueror wound up having a really good game. Confederate and high caliber. Confederate, like I like Confederate more than I like getting a Kraken, just to be honest. It just shows you depleted a number of ships on the enemy team, I think by at least 20% of their hit points. To me, from an all-around contribution perspective, you can pick off 5 nearly dead ships and get a Kraken, but if you get a Confederate, you've really contributed to your team. All right, so let's jump down. Moist, I don't know if Moist is still around. Let's run a Belfast game, because Moist just unlocked the Belfast in a crate. Unlocked it, won it in a crate. And we still need to work on campaign goals, so probably back on later tonight. Grinding alone. Oh my god, we're almost to the XP. We're getting close on damage. 4 of 7 top 2 battles. Getting top 2 is usually not a problem for me, but man, it's been difficult. Friday and today just hasn't been the best run of that. Hasn't been all losses, but just the battleship games have been tough. Okay, so we don't need as many goodies loaded up on here. I usually run a double global XP booster and a double credit booster on any premium ship. We don't need that many XP gained now for our mission. So let's bump that down to a double, which we have a lot more of. Would Hippie Belfast is your most played? Well, we are simpatico, my friend. It's a great ship. And on top of that, it's a true museum ship, right? I was talking about, you know, that hopefully this Friday I'm going to go to the North Carolina quick trip when I go into North Carolina, fly in this weekend. So it's cool having the opportunity to go to a real museum ship if you haven't. I'm going to count this in, you guys, just in case anyone is playing it on tier 6. Go ready. 3, 2, 1, and go. See if we can keep the streak alive. That was a much better game in Charles Martel. 2 better cruiser games. And 2 better teams. So when you're in a battleship and you have your cruiser stick with you, you can do what I was doing to that GK and that Iowa, which is while they're working on them with AP rounds, I'm just harassing, unnerving, trying to repeatedly set them on fire and whittle down hit points that way while they're going for bigger alpha strikes. The Conqueror was probably whapping them with HE, which is even more frustrating than me hitting him with HE. 5 Gems talking about the sense of scale when you're next to the turrets. Yeah, when I went to the Iowa, I gotta find it. I have a picture. I was 17 years old when I went to the Iowa, so it's been a long time, over 30 years. And I have a friend of myself and I, my dad took a picture of us standing in front of the front 2 turrets, and yeah, we are tiny. I can still remember the size of the shells and the powder bags and stuff too. So hopefully I'll get a chance to go. I think it's pretty similar guns, right? The gun size is the same. Iowas, I'm sure, were a bit upgraded as far as the mark number. Okay, so let's try to communicate. Let's see if this will do any good. We're going to communicate A and C, which is kind of our preferred deployment in this situation. Let them have B. We win A and C, we pincher them in the middle. Oh god, it's another dragon. The dragons tend to go straight into the middle. Like that Ochakov. That guy's probably on Reddit. Ochakov, the worst ship ever. It's like, no dude, it's actually one of the most fun ships ever if you don't just go straight into a cap without changing direction. Okay, we're low tier and we have to be cognizant of who we're up against. We have a Cleveland going into the A cap. This guy's taking the wrong route as a cruiser into the A cap. If you go this route and you're spotted, you're exposed to all the battleships sitting middle. So you're much better off in a cruiser going around the back. Wow, took out Georgia took out their Nagato already. Trash side armor on the Nagato, being really more of a battle cruiser. Whoops. Calling for fire on the York. We're gonna have to put him all the way at the edge to lead him. Drop a few rounds on him. Slowing down what seems to be a tad. If you're in a cruiser, just change your speed and direction a little bit. If you're out in the middle of a map like this, don't just sail in a straight line the whole time and at the same speed. It makes the aiming that I have to do, the adjustment after each shot, so much more predictable when you're not changing your direction, your heading, or your speed. You can just walk in, fire. Okay, I don't want the shores to tee me up, so let's get a little closer to the edge. I can use my back turrets here. And they're gonna push around to the other side. No, Shores is gonna come middle. So that Shores does not really want to come into the mixer in B. He's not only exposed to the battleship fire, he's gonna eat torps.
Our team is taking the lead.
Okay. Our dragon's dead, right? Yeah. Shocker of the week, our dragon died. Would it be you want to go to the two closest to you, which is Texas and Kidd? That would be a cool combination. I know they're doing repair work on Texas, right? Where they're trying to get her into dry dock. This could be a 2-for-1 win right here. I'm going to dip in, get turned around facing out, and then we're going to use our smoke so we can get fire on the Roma and or the Cleveland and win the cap. Okay, gotta hit the smoke.
Smoke generator started.
Problem is, I'm probably gonna lose visual on the Cleveland. Hopefully I have a teammate spy in the Cleveland. Looks like I do.
Smoke screen set.
Ugh, lost visual.
Our victory is in sight.
Cleveland doesn't have torps, so I don't have to worry about that. Unfortunately, I don't have torps either. Do I have any support? That would look like a no. That's why I was oriented so I can move out of the cap if necessary. So I'm gonna have to run behind my smoke screen. I'm gonna kite now. Shoot. This could hurt. It hurts. I don't have a heal either. Come on, guys. Both of them pushed, which kind of hurt, and one of them happened to have a plane up.
Ship is
I
on
need to be
fire.
firing at the cruiser.
Problem solved, sir.
Cruiser's low health. If I stay angled to the Cleveland and he keeps shooting HE at me, I can probably survive that. Ugh.
The ship is on fire.
I'm dead. Looks like we're gonna hopefully carry a win there. So very difficult to hold that position against a cruiser and a battleship. If it was just one of the two, we would have survived that situation most likely. Especially with a battleship that can only fire every 30 seconds or so. Confusing, good to see you. And Brett, good to see you as well. Yeah, I should have changed to AP. You're correct, Brett. That's 100% correct. That was my mistake. I was just kind of out of the corner of my eye. I was paying too much attention to what the Roma was doing. If the Cleveland was continuing to bow into me, that AP most likely would have shattered or bounced. Oh, nice work, guys. But if he stayed broadside to me at all, then you have good AP rounds in a British light cruiser. I'm out of practice on Belfast, Brett. I played it a lot, played it a ton. And then I've been doing line grinds on battleships a lot lately. And I switch rounds on battleships. You just have so much more time to think about it than you do on the cruiser, you know, situation where you're in those heated battles like that. Yeah, that was a 2v1, but thankfully our teammates came from the other direction and were hitting their broadsides, so it worked out. Not a stellar damage total, and we're near the bottom, but we'll take a win. Take a win, that got us our XP. So we're getting there. We have 2 more endurance trials left. Good progress. Yeah, in general, when you're firing cruiser versus cruiser on any other cruiser and their broadside to switch to your AP rounds. Brett has the right call there, 100%. The Cleveland was trying to do that to me, and then I got angled, and you can see he switched back to HE. He wound up getting that double fire, which was, I don't want to say lucky for him, but RNG was in his favor for sure. Hey Brett, thank you for subbing on YouTube. Very, very much appreciated. Been trying to do actually probably as much or more time spent on creating content for YouTube than streaming of late. So appreciate you coming in and checking out the stream. And if you kick around on my page, there's some different content. I don't know how long you've been playing. Some stuff on guides for things like aiming, deployment, getting to more ship review, that type of thing as well, with my own kind of take and spin on it. I've been playing the game for almost 6 years between PC and Legends, and it took me a long time to start doing any content because I felt like everything had really been done before. But I think you kind of find your own style, your own little bit unique way of doing things, and that's what we're trying to do on our channel. So if you have any feedback or anything on any of the videos, very much appreciated, and thank you for coming in. You too, Confusing. Let's see. We got wins on our 2 cruisers that we wanted at tier 7. Line grind wise, really what I'm left with is battleships. So I'm having a frustrating day with battleships with lack of support. Let's try one more with Sinop. We're getting super close to Vladivostok. So, oh my God. Extremely close. This is probably about my last game too before I have to bail. But let's go ahead and do this. See if we can get a good win at the end here. First 3 games of the evening were with basically evaporating team support on our flank. Either died in front of us before we could even get forward to support, or they just completely bailed flank entirely. So what, 3rd time is a charm? It was 2 bad games, one good game that went quickly in Tennessee. And that's the grind I'm most excited about. So I'm going to jump back on later, probably just to do some quick grinding to get done with this week's missions. I'm not far from unlocking North Carolina, so if you guys have North Carolina and commenting on her in the chat, that'd be welcome. How she's matching with your play style. She's one of my favorite ships on PC. I like her far more than Iowa, which is why I've only ground up to Colorado in the U.S. Navy battleships on the old line. Really wasn't all that excited to get to Iowa. I do have like Iowa and Missouri on PC, so it's not like a totally new and unique experience. And I just, the long hull, big turning circles, even though they are speedy, it's just not necessarily my favorite ships to play. The guns are great, but I like the shorter hull, the little better turning circle, and I like that high plunging fire AP rounds that the North Carolina produces. All right. I'm just going to ping again, just to try to get people to split. Greece is a little harder. People tend to get sucked into the middle. Confusing. Any information on minimap scale? How do you know the size of a grid square in kilometers? If you Google it, people say, and even the devs have said, that this map scale is the same in Legends as it is on PC. I know it's out there stated. You could check the World of Warships wiki page for PC and see if they have it published there, because they do have a section on maps. But it's honestly like, I'm to the point where I don't memorize all the facts and figures so much anymore. Tactic Angel might be one page you could check out that I know he gets quite into the details of ship stats and that sort of thing. Probably a little more so than I do. I'm getting too old to keep all the different stats specifically in my mind. I think I burned out a lot of those brain cells playing World of Tanks between console and PC, when I used to know every armor thickness and gun caliber along the upgrade path of the different ships or different tanks and all that good stuff. And when I moved to Warships, I just kind of stopped worrying so much about memorizing every single thing. I feel like the map scaling on Legends is actually different than on PC, but people claim it's the same. Some of the maps feel smaller. Okay, I'm not going to head straight into the A cap on the heading rack, so I'm going to be giving full broadside to this Ismail and the North Carolina. So we're going to kite. They have a very strong presence between B and C. So rather than go get teed up on by 5 ships at once here. Let's see what this cruiser's doing. Cruiser's going to turn out. DeGrasse. DeGrasse, probably my favorite ship in the game. Let's straddle that. Okay. Let's turn in and counter this Ismail. If he's going to push through B. Oh god, what is our carrier doing? Dude. Yeah, we're getting to the point where you're starting to see one team have a carrier player that's so much better than the other team that it's starting to make a difference. And obviously when it happens occasionally, more on PC. I haven't seen as many carriers on Legends as on PC. But when they YOLO straight into caps, it's always good for your your patience level.
Concentrate fire on the target. Concentrate fire on the enemy.
Okay, now that that Ismail's out, we can come back around on the North Carolina. Sinop has really weak side armor. It's not weak side armor when angled, it's just a exposed citadel. It's above the waterline. Good grief. Hit some stuff. We may be able to tee up on this North Carolina coming through broadside at B. So let's support that first and we'll loop back around. Our Ryuho is going to die soon anyway, no matter what we do. Let's hit some shots here. That North Carolina is going to hold. There we go. Hey, Automatic, do I play to Xbox? Yeah, I play Xbox, and then, like, for streaming, I do Xbox to my PC. So I use a Xbox console companion app and stream, as they call it, stream to my PC, and then stream it out to Twitch and YouTube. Okay, let's call for focus fire on this North Carolina. So, what, our carrier just want to run against the rock? No, he went through. How he's still alive. I don't know how he can actually be using his planes on anybody. When he's worried about driving so much. Okay, where are these guys at? I don't want to show too much side to that other North Carolina off to the right here. See if we can work on getting this guy out. Caps are even, but we're down a ship. Okay. I'm gonna loop around. I don't have more than like 14.8 kilometer main battery range with my setup on this ship. Now let's loop back around, see if we can put pressure on the KGV. Confused, so you want to make easier to use sonar and radar if you knew how much of the map it will cover. The nice thing on PC Confusing is you can set your different rings. You can set rings for everything from your anti-aircraft distances to your sonar, your spotting, your main battery range. You get a lot more information on your mini-map distance circles. So I just kind of know by keeping track of my distance relative to enemy ships. But yes, that wouldn't be a bad thing to know with regard to just estimating squares, but personally that's kind of not the way that I've done it, but would totally work. I just generally try to keep in my head what my range is to different ships. And obviously you see that displayed. North Carolina is showing us a little bit of side. So let's see if we can get in and start getting some work done on the B cap and continue to get shots on this North Carolina. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know the exact diameter of a cap circle, but you could estimate it by seeing a ship on the other side. I mean, you can see this guy's 12 kilometers off. I think it's about 10-ish. Now we just don't want to push so far that we show broadside North Carolina over here. I'm going to stay bow into the King George. DeGrasse is sitting off in the distance. Keep an eye on him. If he lets his guard down, he shows us broadside. We might shift our fire to him. We lost our CV. Not sure what he was doing. I'm gonna call for focus fire on the KGV. If I push forward too much further, I'm afraid that North Carolina is there. Unless that's him. Yeah. They have a lot of North Carolinas. Yeah, the 3. Good gravy. Okay, we're gonna have to back up a little bit. I don't want to push straight in. We're still in this. If I can back off and win this cap, put my plane up, see if I can spot the cruiser shooting at me. I do have the fast cooldown damage control party. Gonna have to use it with a double fire. Just don't know where my teammates are. They're mostly on the C side. And now we have no counter support from our carrier. Synops AP or AA is not fantastic. Thank you, Leander.
The ship is on fire.
As soon as we fire, we're not going to be able to stay undetected in that smoke. So I have 2 ships all the way over in D, so we're not going to be getting a lot of support from them anytime soon, unfortunately. This may be it. Stop firing, see if I can... He reset me. We're out of the cap. Frustrating battleship day. So we can get one more salvo off on the King George. And we're dead. Some days you're having it and you're feeling it in a battleship. Today has not been a good game day in battleships for me. So confused, and I'll have to do some research on that. But yeah, the mini map on PC is fantastic. You can basically use your mouse and there's a little gear icon next to your mini map, and you click on that and it gives you a selection of everything from, again, your secondary battery range, your anti-aircraft battery range, main battery range, sonar, the whole thing, your base detection distance. So it's super helpful. I hope at some point they give us a little more basically resolution on that sort of thing for our mini map, but people in the past, when I asked questions similar to that on tanks, would say, well, we can't do that because a lot of people play in a television. You can't get too much information in there. Like ship names would be cool too. And you can specialize and customize a lot of your functionality in the PC game. It's what makes it most different from Legends, is the ability to run mods, third-party mods that modify your head-up display or your team panels, all kinds of different stuff. So that aspect has been kind of a bummer that we don't have that capability to at least get more of the goodies on the mini-map than we generally have on the Legends side. That being said, everyone plays with the same head-up display and the same UI on Legends, so I think Legends is a little more apples to apples as far as player ability. No one gets kind of special tools that no one else gets, because you have little things that you can put above ships on PC that tell you which direction the ship's going, their relative heading versus your heading, all kinds of interesting stuff that you can't use in competition, but you can use in everyday play. So if you have a PC that's a dog, you can't run all those additional mods, and someone else who has a better PC can. The big limiting factor, obviously, for us in Legends is your internet connection. If you have a laggy connection, you're obviously at a disadvantage to other players, but the tools you have are the same. So why isn't there a circle for sonar radar on the mini-map? Yeah, I think, again, it should be something in the settings where we have a radio button. That one would not clutter up the map too much, because right now we only have the main battery range and detection, right? So you could easily put that, because it would generally fall a lot of times within those 2 lines or inside those 2 lines, but they're not offering it yet. I'm sure they're working on some other stuff. Crossplay divisions would be my #1 thing that I'd ask to get done, but for now it looks like we're not going to get any of those type of enhancements anytime soon from what I've been following. Though, again, someone who came in might have been one of you guys on the YouTube side mentioning that the campaign ship should get mentioned soon for next time. That's probably within the next day or 2. Patch notes will be next week. So who knows? They do keep adding some stuff in each patch, but there are lots of things that they can still do. Hopefully we keep our player base numbers up, and they do some of the additional functionality on ships that they just didn't get around to doing on tanks. And that's part of the reason I think that World of Tanks console ultimately kind of tailed off. Kevin Vix, not to name and shame you, but what were you doing, dude? So, I mean, the difference in carrier play obviously has a bearing on that game, right? So if we have a persistent carrier harassing some of those battleships on my side, that's going to help you from getting focused down by 3 or 4 ships like we were. But it's the nature of the beast. I'm really thankful right now that the majority of our Legends games don't have CVs in them, or it's a 50-50 at most. On PC side of the world right now, pretty much every game has a PC or has a CV in it. So, and some games have 2 CVs per side. Obviously, it's a 12v12 situation. So, hey guys, that's it for me today. It was a decent day in cruisers. Got wins in all of our cruiser games and losses in all but one of our battleship games. So, it's just how it rolls sometimes. Especially new folks stopping by. Brett, Confusing, Automatic, good to see you again. And again, Wood Hippie, thank you for the follow. Good to see you, Foz, Mighty Foz, and Wheezy back again as well. I'm going to hope to get on sometime between Monday and Wednesday, be out of town Thursday through Sunday this coming week. So hope you guys all get done with your grinds and get your ZF6 if you're gunning for her. I think it's interesting DD. Don't try to knife fight with it. It's not a knife fighting DD from what I understand, but Notzer, someone mentioned Notzer. Notzer has a great video on the ZF6. It's a PC review game, but it's got very similar tools to the Legends version, and he plays the hell out of that, like basically dominates a flank all by himself, like 1v3 or 4 ships in the ZF6, ZF6, whatever you'd like to call it. So check that out, Notzer, Notser, and ZF6. His review is fantastic. Lastly, Confusing says, and shrink the fighter symbol or move it behind the ship symbols, because often you can't see a ship symbol and the direction underneath its fighter. Yeah, a lot of that little stuff they could tweak. So still a ton of room for improvement in the game. And honestly, I think the more tweaks they make, the more of us that play the game in the long term, the more we'll hang around. So this is pretty funny, you guys. It's like 1 battleship win, 4 battleship losses, and 3 cruiser wins. Last Sunday, I had an 11-0 streak, and then went back on and played by myself later and won another 3 straight. I was 14-0 in one day. That has not happened in a long time. Obviously, your results are better when you're winning too, not when you're getting focused down and worked over as the solo person who stayed on a flank or tried to run away from a flank after everyone else bailed out on you and you're in a battleship. So, hey, thanks you guys. Thanks again to you, Free Time. Have a great weekend, what's left of it, and hope to see you guys this coming week. In the meantime, I did release a Synop video with a more successful game than that last one this morning on YouTube. So check that out if you have a chance. Thank you. I'm VannKraken. Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy, and I am out.